How's it going, guys? In my last video, I went over the basics of how to manage your villagers and their mood, but we haven't talked about the most important villagers, your wife and heir. The way to gain a wife in Medieval Dynasty is by flirting with the women newcomers or villagers in order to raise your affection score. Once your affection score is sufficient, the player can propose, get married, and carry on their dynasty. But for the sake of this video, let's assume you aren't married yet. This is going to be a short video, so let's be sure to pay the king's tax of 1 like and 1 sub, and we'll get right into it. So upon starting the game, you can begin looking for someone to marry. The best place to look for a wife are newcomers at the campfire. Basically go up to them, choose the romance option, and if she's romanceable, you will be given a set of random things to say to her. If not, she will tell you she's already married, too old, or not looking to get married. Note that if a woman is 10 years older than you, she will auto-deny you. Sorry, Kestrel, maybe next time. For this flirting process, we're going to be flirting with the lovely Ludwika. Every woman in Medieval Dynasty has one of 4 personality traits: busy bee, free spirit, romantic, or snob. If you prefer not to guess and check, you can take the empathy feat in the diplomacy skill tree, which will reveal their personalities after talking to them for a while. Once ready, you can begin rizzing the ladies until she gets tired of you, upon which you'll have to wait a day before talking to her again and starting back where you left off. It's likely it'll take you a couple seasons to charm your lady up to 100% affection. It took me about 5 days to get Ludwika up to 100% affection. I will provide a link to this table in the description that will give you all the proper options depending on the personality type. Also, regarding gifts, you can boost your affection by buying your lady gifts from the exotic goods vendor, which will randomly pop up in either Gustovia, Ornica, Jezrika, or your own town once you've acquired an inn. Busy bees like spice pouches, free spirits like Malvasia, romantics like Kaptorga, and the snobs love jewelry of any kind. If you buy the wrong gift, that's okay, as gifts will generally give affection regardless of the correct pairing, but you will gain more affection with the proper pairings. Before you get married, you may wonder if any personalities are better over the others, and the answer is no. It's purely preference. Women with the snob personality can be a bit harder to keep happy, if that weren't obvious, but none of the personalities have any particular benefits. If anything, I would look at the skills they have before deciding to marry them if you have a preference of their workplace, but if not, it doesn't really matter. Once your affection reaches 100, you can declare that you love your woman and want to get married. In doing this, you will get a cutscene, and your wife will immediately move into your house. Now that you're married, your affection has a chance to fluctuate, so you can't just ignore her after getting married. One of the nice benefits you can utilize when married is having her take tax money to the Castellan once spring season arrives, saving you a trip to Gustovia. You can keep your affection up with your wife by buying her gifts from the exotic goods vendor, talking to her every day, sleeping next to her at night, and completing any quest she may randomly have. In fact, it's really important that you talk to your wife every season, as she can give you food, drink, or clean you up, depending on your needs. But most importantly, she will give you the best quests in the game. Quests for special villagers. I briefly mentioned this in my previous video, but once married, your wife now has a chance to give you a quest every season. Not all these quests lead to a special villager, but many involve finding a villager and completing a quest for them. Once the quest is completed, you will have the opportunity to invite these special villagers to live in your village. Here are the names of some of the quests to keep an eye out for. Even if your wife doesn't have one of these 6 quests, I still recommend that you do your wife's quests, as many of them expire after 2 seasons. These special villagers have boosted stats compared to normal villagers, having a 6 in one skill and 3s in the rest. Just be sure to read the quest text at the end, or you may end up missing the opportunity to invite them to your village. Now let's talk about having an heir. In order to carry on your dynasty, you're going to need an heir. To have an heir, talk to your wife and choose the option to have a child with her. If it's not after 7 PM, she'll ask you to wait till 7 PM, but once done, you will notice there's a little pregnant icon next to her status in the management menu. Like every other villager, she'll be pregnant for 3 seasons before having your child, and once your heir is born, your wife will gain the profession of mother and will be unable to work for 2 years. During these 2 years, your heir will be in this infancy stage, and there won't be much interaction, but there is still a chance for wife quests, so keep an eye out for them. After 2 years, your heir will be in his toddler stage, and you will now have the ability to do quests for him, which will in turn gain affection and dynasty rep. Affection can also be gained by giving him a toy, which includes toy swords from the blacksmiths and ragdolls from the seamstresses purchased throughout the valley. You can also acquire additional toy figurines after completing Sambor's questline, so complete his questline and you will have more gifts to give to your heir. His next growth stage will be around 6, which won't change too much, but once your son reaches 14, you will be able to set him as an apprentice in any workstation of your choice. Setting any teenager as an apprentice won't increase production speeds, but it will increase their skills, although it is at half the speed of normal villagers. It is important to mention, by the way, that if you don't keep up your affection with your wife, she will actually leave you, and she gets custody, so say bye-bye to your heir if that happens. However, if your heir does in fact make it to 18, you will have the option to change to playing your heir by choice, or change to playing your heir if you happen to die through injury or old age. Another interesting thing is while you can't have more than one heir, your heir can have more than one child. So maybe set that up before playing as your heir if it's important to you, though it isn't necessary. And that's everything you need to know about your wife and heir in Medieval Dynasty. If you have any questions or have any interesting tips to mention, please leave a comment below and let us all know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.